9,
Sister start.
8, 7,
7.
6,
We have maintenance
5,
start.
4, 3, 2,
1.
0.
Booster ignition.
Liftoff.
And liftoff of the
Rocket launches may seem commonplace today. In 2018, there was an average of more than 3 launches every week. But in the past, the idea of sending rockets into space was purely science fiction. It wasn't until the early 20th century when a man named Robert Goddard tried to convince the world that space travel didn't have to be fiction. Decades before the space age began, he envisioned using rockets to send science experiments into the upper atmosphere, beyond the heights attainable by weather balloons at the time. He even imagined and calculated in detail what it would take to send a rocket carrying a massive flash powder to the surface of the moon. The powder, he believed, could be ignited on the surface and would be visible from Earth. The public caught wind of Goddard's wild ideas, and it became the topic of national conversation and press. A lot of it negative. Goddard's reply: "Every vision is a joke until the first man accomplishes it. Once realized, it becomes commonplace." Goddard persisted with his dream. He went on to build and launch the world's first liquid-fueled rocket, the basic design of which is still used to this day. In July 1969, 50 years after Goddard first proposed sending a rocket to the moon, Apollo 11 launched on the 6.5 million pound Saturn V rocket. Among the 3 astronauts on board was Buzz Aldrin. And on his journey to the moon, he carried with him a miniature version of Robert Goddard's autobiography. Thankfully, Goddard was not forgotten by history. His name lives on to this day. On May 1st, 1959, NASA dedicated its first spaceflight complex in his honor as the Goddard Space Flight Center. 60 years later, the center continues to fulfill his vision by building spacecraft, instruments, and new technology to study Earth, the Sun, our solar system, and the universe.